Yeah, I'm probably more in the middle of it right now. The scouts are probably more towards the end of it, but that is one position. It takes a little extra time because a lot of what you do with the quarterbacks, as far as in the classroom, preparation, board work, is very important. So we'll start that here a little bit, get into more of that into March. But as far as the draft class goes, it's pretty good.
What attributes are you looking for in a quarterback?
Generally speaking, a lot of attributes that Phillip Rivers had. You want that intangible part too. It's very important for the quarterback to be able to lead, to have work ethic, preparation skills, handle adversity, all of those skills. That's so important for a quarterback. And then obviously you want the physical skills too. Have quick decision maker on the field, arm strength, feet in the pocket, all that stuff. So that's all part of scouting. Yeah, part of that is really talking to people at the school who spend every day with these players. And then part of it's on us watching them play the game, especially our scouts that go to see players play live. They get a feel for their leadership when they come off the field after a bad series, when they come to the sideline, how they handle their coaches, how they handle their teammates in those instances. So trying to put that whole picture together.
To replace Phillip, would you prefer a rookie, a veteran? Where are you leaning for that spot?
Not leaning in any which way. I mean, right now we have Tyrod Taylor as a starting quarterback. We're confident we can win with Tyrod. And then, we'll look at all the other options that are out there. We're still early in the process right now, but we're just looking for a quarterback that we can win with. We think we can win with Tyrod, too.
The team has been rumored to be a Tom Brady landing spot for about 3 months now. What have you thought of all the rumors? What are you guys thinking?
Well, I've been asked the question, I can't tell you how many different ways and different times. The way I've kind of answered is this. We're early in the process. Way too early to eliminate anything right now. Like, we're more in wide lens evaluation process to see what fits, what doesn't fit. We'll narrow things down later on, but we'll see.
Is there a scenario where you would trade up in the draft if you felt like that's a quarterback that you wanted?
Or trade back. Yeah, I've never seen a GM go into a draft and say, I'm not going to trade up, or I'm definitely trading up. Of course, you'd possibly trade up for any player or trade back. I don't know. It's way too early to determine that.
When you go into a draft, is there a price that you won't go above? Let's say I won't give up a future price.
Down the road, you may have that. Right now, it's just way too early. It's a lot of it comes down to leverage, how badly a team wants to move that you're working with. But no hard thoughts on that yet.
Tom, what do you like about Tyrod as the guy right now? And does the offense change with him at the top?
I think the style would probably change a little bit. I love his makeup and intangibles, which I talked about for quarterback is A1. Very, very important. And then he's got great feel in the pocket. He makes good decisions with the football. He's got plenty of arm strength. He's got great feet and mobility. And his teammates believe in him. So those are pretty good traits right there.
Tom, you said you're evaluating through a wide lens currently. What's your view through that lens of the running back position on the depth chart as it stands?
On our football team or the draft or free agency or on our football team? Well, obviously Melvin Gordon's a free agent. Austin Eckler's a restricted free agent. Justin Jackson will be back. So we have some players there. Now one of them is a free agent with Melvin Gordon, obviously. So we'll kind of see how that shakes out.
Are you talking to Melvin people here at the combine?
All of our free agents, we've probably had at least some discussions, but some of them leading up to the combine. We'll have, by the time we get to the combine, we'll have talked with everybody and go from there.
You obviously talked with Melvin people a lot last year.
Yeah, a little bit.
How does that color discussions now? I think his representation maybe has changed.
By and large, it hasn't. No, they've always been great discussions. His representation is doing their job, never contentious, and that's the way these things go sometimes. You try and get to a place where both people think it's going to work. It didn't quite get there last year during training camp, but we always had good constructive discussions with them. We'll probably have them again here, but it is what it is right now.
Is the franchise tag an option for Hunter, or are you more looking for like a long-term extension?
Certainly could be it. It could be a consideration for him, and sure would love a long-term extension too.
Kyle Smith was up here just a few minutes ago. What's it like to have another St. Francis graduate on this stage?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's great. And he's young enough that he wasn't there when I was there, but I knew his dad a little bit. He comes from good stock, and he was a heck of a high school football player at St. Francis. But, it's really cool to see him kind of come up the ranks, worked his way up just like his dad did, just like I did. and to see him in a leadership position right now, it's pretty cool.
We talked about it before, but they have 3 guys from the same small high school in these roles.
Yeah, it's very unusual. Obviously, we all got lucky, or I got lucky because I happened to go to the same high school as Bill Polian's kids, so that I had a little bit of advantage there. So, but no, I think we were. I'm biased, but we were taught the right way at high school at Buffalo St. Francis, and it kind of carried over to now. I mean, continuity is always nice, but it's not the number one overriding factor. We're just trying to put the best crew together.
Are you guys going to hire a quarterback coach?
As of right now, we're kind of set with where we are. We've got, Shane's the coordinator. Obviously, he's been the quarterback coach. We've moved Rip Shear to more of a senior assistant offensive coach, and Rip has a pretty long history with quarterbacks, so kind of feel like we can handle it in-house right now.
Would you worry about not having enough attention to potential rookies who were drafted and not having full-time quarterbacks?
No, I don't. If you've been around Rip Shear, Rip's been in football as a college head coach at a high level. Has been in the NFL for a long time, long history. Obviously, Shane is offensive coordinator with a quarterback background as a player and as a coach. So, no, actually we'd have 2 guys really putting a lot of work into that position.
Tom, are you confident in your quarterback situation, or would you like to perhaps add that position through free agency?
You must have just showed up. Yeah. I've said numerous times we're very confident in Tyrod Taylor. We were confident when we signed him last year. We knew when we signed him last year he was coming in a backup role. We knew that, and he knew that coming in. But we felt like he was a backup that had starter ability. If something happened to Philip last year, God forbid, if he would get hurt, Tyrod could come in and run the offense, and we can still score points and win games. So very confident with him. He's been in Anthony's offense before. But I also said we'll probably look at the whole wide lens of where we are, free agency draft, and kind of see what shakes out. But I like where we are with Tyrod as well.
Apologies if this is another repeat.
That's okay.
Just considering how long you've been in the league and how long Tom Brady's been in the league, what have you seen from him over his career, especially the last few years at the advanced age of playing at a high level?
Yeah, when it comes to all free agents right now, since they're on other teams, I don't think it'd be real good for me to comment specifically about players that are out there. Obviously, we know he's a good player. But, yeah, I wouldn't talk about any specific free agents that aren't really free agents yet till March 18th.
I believe back in November you were in attendance at the USC-Oregon game, and I know it was a full week for you against the Packers the next day, but you also put in time the year before looking at Oregon and Justin Herbert. Can you give just general impressions of what you've seen from him the past couple of years as you personally have put in quite a bit of time?
Yeah, when we go to those games, it's not to go scout one player. There are a lot of prospects on both teams, and obviously with Justin, since he's a senior, we've seen a lot of them. But like I said with free agents, I don't like to talk specifically about football players as far as their ability that are in the draft. Probably not a great trait for a GM to have before the draft. But I think his track record kind of speaks for itself and what he's done in his career, and then how he even did at the end of the season with the bowl game, with the All-Star game. So he did a real nice job.
Players specifically speak questions about or criticisms of Oregon's offense as it may translate to, regardless of him, it could be line, it could be receivers, anybody. In evaluating any of their players, how do you see their offense fitting?
I mean, they played in the Rose Bowl, right? I mean, I thought they did pretty well. I thought they moved the ball. They have a running back from San Diego who's an excellent player. They had some receivers. They have an excellent offensive line, and they won games. I didn't see any issue with their offense at all.
Where do things stand with Russell Okung? There was a report last week that he's skeptical in his direction. Where do things stand?
No change with him, with us, yeah.
Did you guys ask him to restructure?
Nope.
About playing penalties, has he been cleared?
He hasn't been cleared yet, so we're still in kind of open period with him right now.
Tom, do you view Austin Eckler as a player who can carry the load as a lead guy over the duration of an entire season, or is he best used as kind of complementary?
Well, I guess it depends how you define lead guy. He can handle the ball as a running back and as a receiver. He can handle the touches, and I think he can do it over a full season. Would you want to have him carry the ball 30, 35 times a game, which hardly anybody does anymore? I think we'd want to pair him with anybody. It doesn't really matter, even if he was, 6 foot 230 and could pound it in between the tackles. You want to pair running backs with each other, but he can do so much with the football with the amount of touches he gets, and it doesn't have to just be as a running back. We could put him in the slot. We could put him out wide. He's a pretty dangerous player for us, and a big part of our offense. He's going to play a lot.
There's a pretty good left-handed quarterback in this draft, as we all know. More broadly, why aren't there more left-handed quarterbacks? There hasn't been one, a starter in the NFL since like 2015.
Who was that?
I think it was Vic with the Eagles.
Okay.
Kellen Moore was the last backup to be in the league in the 70s.
Honestly, I don't have a good question. I don't have a good answer for that. Good question. But why aren't there more left-handed quarterbacks? Don't quite know. No, not at all. Not at all. I know as a receiver, catching a ball from a left-handed quarterback, it looks funny for the first couple of throws, and after that, you don't think about it anymore. But I don't think there's any hard reason that there's a higher bar for left-handed quarterbacks. If there is, I don't know about it.
In an ideal world, will you hope to get a contract extension done with Joey Bosa this offseason?
I don't really have a timetable on it. I really don't. But I know he's a building block player. We want him here a long time, but I don't have a real timetable on it.
And what's the next steps for Mike Williams? Obviously, a guy who's super talented, but has yet to have 50 catches in any of his first 3 years. What does he need to do to take his game to the next level?
Well, when you have Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry and Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler, there's only so many balls to go around. And Mike took advantage of every situation he had as a big play receiver for us. And I think he still has a lot of growth in front of him. He had a great season for us. He really did. And he was banged up for a majority of it, and he played through it. But he has an innate ability to make plays down the field. He's actually a pretty good route runner, too, for a bigger man to get in and out of cuts. And like I said, I don't know how many catches he had if it was under 50, but, big plays, big average yards per catch. And, we got to make sure we get Keenan the ball, too. So there's only so many footballs to go around. Yeah, I think Anthony's pretty flexible. We'll tweak the offense to whoever's behind center.
Are you going to pick up Mike's fifth-year option?
That would be the plan going in. But I actually haven't given enough thought on that yet. But, we love what he's doing. He's going to be a good player in this league.
Has there been a decision made on Brandon Beebe and decided
I mean, I haven't spoken in specifically, but, kind of go from there.
What's your overall evaluation of Michael Davis? Do you feel like you guys need to upgrade at that second outside the first line?
I mean, from a player standpoint, you're always looking for, to get better. But I think Michael's a solid starting corner in this league, and we've seen him improve every single year, including this past year. He's got long arms. He runs extremely well. He can run with a lot of speed receivers in this league. He's improved his tackling and run support since he came out of college. And he's made more plays on the ball now than he did, say, his rookie year. So he's really come along for us.
Tom, what's your evaluation of the offensive line and how you can get better at that position?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of work in progress. It is. And something that it's obviously it's a priority in the offseason to kind of look at it, see what the best fit is, the best five, see who's healthy and see who isn't, and kind of take it from there.
How much is the new line coach going to play in terms of evaluation of personnel and then schemes?
He'll have a huge say. And very excited about James Campen coming in, long track record at Green Bay, excellent veteran offensive line coach. And, he has a huge say on what he thinks fits what we have. Luckily, from what I've seen so far, the players we have fit the style that he wants to run, that him and Anthony want to run up front. And it would be good to have a new, fresh set of eyes in that room.
Is that going to change schematically from what you guys did last year, both in the run game?
It's too early to say. Too early to say.
If you look at Keenan Allen's success right away as a receiver, what do you need as a receiver, like a young receiver, to make an impact in a position where there's usually a learning curve?
There's definitely a learning curve. Keenan came on a little quicker than most his rookie year, but there's definitely a learning curve from college to professional at receiver. Right now we have Keenan who can play outside and inside. We have Mike Williams who's probably more outside than inside. We'd love to add another receiver to that mix who can probably do a little bit of both inside and outside. That way he can be more flexible with Keenan. But yet that being said, it's a difficult position for a young player to come in. But I will say the last, 3-4 years, more rookie receivers are coming in and producing early than they used to. I think that's part of where high school football is nowadays. They're throwing the ball, where college football is. So there's no reason to believe a young guy couldn't come in and kind of get with the offense.
Do you think that's a scheme thing with what teams are doing in the NFL level, or is that like how they're being prepared?
I think both.
How do you see Haas being used once he gets healthy next year? Where does he fit?
I think the cool thing about him, I think he can fit in a number of different ways. I think he can fit at free safety. I think he could fit at nickel. He played corner at Delaware for a little bit. We can probably use him in some nickel and dime packages. I think there's a lot of things we can do with him. But we need to see him on the field to be able to really verify that.
The free safety spot, is that Rayshon's job to lose, or do you feel like that's going to be it?
He was the starter to end the year, and he had a pretty good year. Sure. Sure. I don't know how many touches he had in the first couple of games, but he was very productive with them. But I think whatever back comes out of the tunnel first, there's got to be somebody, one or two other guys on the sideline that comes in and spells those guys. It's a long season.
We got time for two more guys.
What's your hope for Forest Lamb?
Stay healthy, stay on the field. Pretty simple. He's one of our, I think he was a waiver claim from Denver when we first arrived. Came in, won the job, and he's been a steady performer for us since the day he got in here. So he's done a great job. I don't think he's missed a day of practice since he arrived. So, you know, he falls in the group with all the other free agents. We got to see what fits.
How do you feel about the combine schedule today?
It's certainly different than what we're used to. It's been, I don't know, this is my 25th combine, 26th combine. It's been the same schedule for those 25 years. So this is different, but we're doing the same work. It's just the schedule's just flipped a little bit. So for us, it doesn't change as far as the work we're doing. It's just on the timing of it. But I think it's good. It needs to freshen up a little bit. So it's trying something new. We'll see how it works. We'll see. I mean, we added some. Jeff Foster's done a great job with all the logistics of this combine and the changes that we've made. There's a combine committee of a couple of us that have worked on some of the changes, some of the drill changes, just to try and freshen it up. Maybe take out a couple of drills that maybe a little stale, put in a couple of new drills. In the end, they all pretty much show the same thing, but just try something different, just kind of freshen it up a little bit.